Hands up! Don't move. I said don't move.
Officer, I'm a U.S. Marshal. My credentials are in your hand.
Don't play games with me. Step back.
You're pointing your weapon at a federal officer. Think carefully.
Wait, check the ID. It's real. He's legit.
Unit 24, identity confirmed, repeat confirmed, do not detain.
The blue and red lights flashed behind his SUV like a warning from another world. The late afternoon sun was dipping low over the streets of Atlanta, painting the buildings in gold. When Elijah Grant, a 37-year-old U.S. Marshal, realized he was being pulled over, he had no idea that in the next few minutes, his entire life would explode into chaos, all because of a routine traffic stop that should have lasted 2 minutes. Before we continue, tell me where you're watching from and make sure to subscribe. Your support helps stories like this reach more people. Now let's get back to it. Elijah had just finished buying groceries from a small supermarket on Auburn Avenue. His black Chevrolet Tahoe was packed with bags, milk, bread, fruit, and a few things for his daughter's school lunch. He was tired but relaxed. The day had been long. Earlier, he had testified in court about a major drug bust that took weeks to prepare. The trial went well. The bad guys were finally off the street. All Elijah wanted now was to go home, take a shower, and eat with his family. But the siren behind him wouldn't stop. He looked in his rearview mirror and saw a white police cruiser, lights flashing, pushing up close behind him. He frowned. He hadn't done anything wrong. His speed was under the limit, his turn signal worked fine, and his plates were clean. Still, he pulled over to the side of the quiet street, just as any law-abiding citizen would do. Elijah rolled down his window and waited. A few seconds later, the driver door of the cruiser opened. Out stepped Officer Wade Miller, a local cop in his mid-40s with a sharp jawline, pale skin, and cold blue eyes that seemed to judge everything they saw. His hand rested on his holster as he walked toward the SUV. Elijah noticed it right away, that posture, that attitude. He'd seen it before, too many times in his career. A cop who already made up his mind before saying a word. Miller stopped beside the window, his shadow cutting across the sunlight. "License and registration," he said flatly, his tone heavy with suspicion. Elijah kept his voice calm. "Sure thing, officer," he replied, reaching slowly into his jacket pocket. "My wallet's right here." Miller's eyes narrowed. "Keep your hands where I can see them," he barked, his right hand twitching toward his gun. Elijah froze. He'd trained hundreds of officers across the state. He'd seen real criminals, real threats, but he'd also seen fear mixed with prejudice. And it looked exactly like this. "Easy," Elijah said quietly. "I'm a U.S. Marshal. My ID is in my jacket pocket." But Miller wasn't listening. He stepped closer, scanning Elijah's SUV, as if expecting to see something illegal inside. "A U.S. Marshal, huh?" he said in a mocking tone. "What's a federal guy like you doing driving around here?" Elijah handed over his badge and ID, calm but firm. "Grocery shopping," he said simply. Miller took the ID, but didn't even look at it right away. His partner, Officer Reed, stepped out of the cruiser and joined him. Reed was younger, maybe late 20s, and he looked uneasy. He hadn't said a word yet, just watched. Miller gave Elijah a slow, cold smile. "You fit the description of a suspect we're looking for," he said. Elijah's stomach dropped. "A suspect?" "Yeah," Miller said. "Black male, around your age, driving a black SUV, said he was armed." Elijah felt his heart pound in his chest. "Officer, you have my badge in your hand," he said firmly. "I am the law. You can verify it in your system." But Miller ignored him and glanced at Reed. "Step out of the vehicle," he ordered. At this point, Elijah had a choice. He could argue, or he could follow orders and pray the situation didn't spiral. He knew how fast these things could go wrong. He opened the door slowly and stepped out. His hands were raised. His badge hung from his belt. "Look, I'm not resisting," he said. "You're making a mistake." Miller's hand shot forward and pushed Elijah against the SUV. Groceries spilled from the back seat as Elijah's body hit the door. Reed took a nervous step back. "Wade, maybe we should—" "Quiet," Miller snapped. "I'll handle this." Elijah's patience was breaking. He could feel anger boiling inside him, not just for himself, but for every time he'd seen someone treated like this for no reason. "Officer," he said, his voice shaking slightly, "you are violating protocol. Check your computer. Call your supervisor." Miller's eyes were hard as stone. "You don't tell me what to do." And then in an instant, things went bad. Miller tried to grab Elijah's arm to cuff him, but Elijah instinctively pulled away. It wasn't resistance. It was reflex. He didn't want to be manhandled for no reason. But that one small move changed everything. Miller yanked his gun from his holster. "Hands up!" he shouted, aiming right at Elijah's chest. For a moment, time